You sat on that stage and said, we all, the left and the right, we all hate establishment media. Right? We can agree that establishment media needs to go.
But that's not true.
Everybody claps.
The right wing, they love Fox News and the people. It's the largest media channel in the United States of America by far. That's
a great feel-good moment. But again, those people who leave that room, who are the dominant consumers of mainstream media, who are the dominant viewers of mainstream media, and who are controlled by people who are right-wing, they're going to walk away saying, yeah, we got to tear down mainstream media. And they're talking about CNN, and they're talking about MSNBC.
They're not talking about Fox News. They aren't. They might like pay lip service to it, maybe, but they love Fox News. Again, viewership, highest any cable news network in the United States. They don't like Fox because it's not right-wing enough? No. Don't buy into the propaganda online. Don't buy into the memes online. Most popular cable news stations, USA. Since the election, Fox News captured 72% of the cable news audience in prime time, as MSNBC and CNN ushered in historic declines. In prime time, MSNBC has seen 62% of its age 25 to 54 audience flee the channel, with the network delivering only 56,000 in 25 to 54 and 619,000 in viewers, a 54% decline. CNN has lost over half of its audience in prime time in the 24 to 54 or 25 to 54 demo, in prime time averaging 76,000 viewers in the 25 to 54 demographic and 403,000 in viewers, averaging 76,000 and 403,000 in viewers. Oh, this is including older demographics. Fox News, FNC, Fox News Company, I think, has notched 327 of the top cable news telecasts since the day after the election, with MSNBC and CNN failing to garner over 2 million viewers since November 6th. Conservatives are very good at making themselves seem like the victim while also being in control and in charge over and over and over again. Like,
courageous is going on that stage and saying, look, I know y'all don't want to hear this, but Fox News is mainstream media too.
But I have said that on right-wing shows. So you're taking a 20-minute...
Fox News, MSNBC. Courageous is going on that stage and saying, look, I know y'all don't want to hear this, but Fox News is mainstream media too.
But I have said that on right-wing shows. So
did he? I don't think you challenged Fox News with Charlie Kirk up there. I didn't hear that.
You're taking a 20-minute event here.
I'm not saying you've never said it. I'm saying in that we're talking about how to behave in this space, right? I'm sure you've said it a million times, but we're talking about right now how to behave in that space. And when I keep pointing out what you did in that space, you try to do the side of head thing, where then you talk about what you did somewhere else. I'm saying in this space, to answer your specific question you asked me, which is, should you have torn them down and brought up specific acts of racism or this other thing? I'm saying you don't necessarily have to do that or even make it so personal, right? Because I get how that could be a distraction. What you can do is say, hey, we all want to tear down mainstream media. Establishment media, I'm with y'all. But let's be clear, establishment media isn't just MSNBC and CNN. It's also Fox, which has been the voice of the right for decades now. It's 08 and it's all these things. All of this needs to be torn down. Yes, you could say that.
So, Mark, when I'm on a show like Patrick Bet-David in the last 2 hours or 3 hours, we get to get into that stuff, and that's exactly what I say.
Oh, I didn't watch him on that. Damn, he's making all the rounds. PBD, he's the destiny of the Turks, the Young Turks. PBD, Jenk. How long ago was this? Did we watch? We did see it? Wait, I think I watched a clip from this. I don't think I watched the whole thing, though, did I? There's no shot I watched this whole thing. We saw the first 5 minutes. Yeah. Rate his cam setup. I'm going to be honest. A lot of webcams do this new, like, artificial background blurring thing. I think it looks really bad. I think I'd rather just see, like, an ordinary background. I don't know why everybody started getting obsessed with this, but...
Exactly what I say. Okay, so you're taking a 20-minute speech and go, not good enough. You didn't say it there. You didn't say it that one time. Okay, that's not
what I'm doing. You're misrepresenting my position. My position isn't that in this single instance you didn't do this one thing in a 20-minute space. My critique is that when you're deploying now a strategy of entering these kinds of rooms and doing these kinds of things, and particularly these very public spectacles, right? Which is what conventions are: Democrat, Republican, left, right, whatever. They're all these public spectacles. And I'm saying that there's a significant danger in entering those spaces and not being significantly courageous. This isn't about nitpicking a particular thing you didn't do. This isn't about saying, well, you did 99, but there's the 100 one you missed. You're framing this as if we're nitpicking. And I'm saying no. The actual logic of the strategy that you're articulating right now about how to move in these rooms, I'm saying is deeply problematic for left wing.
I don't even understand what you're saying, Mark. Well, how is it problematic? You keep calling it problematic. Everybody keeps calling it problematic.
I'll tell you why.
Why? Like, they don't need us. Because why do we have this in our head that if we're in the room, okay, then everybody loves Nazis or some weirdo thing like that?
I'm not saying it. Yeah, I'm saying like that.
Talking about. Like,
so let me answer you directly.
And you kiss their ass, then I see what you're saying. But if you clearly say these are left-wing positions and you fight for them in the different shows, etc., and you try to get
you're not fighting. That's the issue. You're not fighting. If you were fighting for them, then everybody would be like, yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. At least Jank is going there and like holding them accountable. But like, you're not fighting.
Not possibly be a bad thing.
Because they're agreeing with you on terms that don't disrupt their actual worldview and won't change their...
Fuck, holy shit. Actually, I just realized something. We watched this where Sam Cedar gives like the gentlest of pushback on Tim lying over his Russian money shit, and that it was an ordinary deal. What changed here to have Tim invite Sam onto the show? Because Tim Pool was like Sam Seder's #1 fucking hater. This guy, he talked shit about him like on camera, off camera, to me. Like he hated Sam Seder. Was it just because they won the election and now they're just trying to do their victory lap and scoop up whatever other viewers they think they can get from these people? Or, man, he hated Seder. I wonder what changed here. Seder's pushback was so gentle. Oh my God.
Politics. You're asking.
How do you know that, Mark?
Because you're asking.
You're assuming it, and
No,
now
I'm not.
stopped assuming it. It turns out a lot of their voters agree with us on like 40% of things.
Right.
We can actually get 40% of things done. Really, really important things. But we were too busy calling them white supremacists to ever get there.
Again, I don't know why we're still talking
When
about
we settle down, we have it.
That's a straw man you created a long time ago. I'm not.
It's not a straw man, Mark. You said it many times at the beginning. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hold on. To be clear, I said to you that I believe they're white supremacists. At no point in this conversation did I say you need to go in the room and call them such. In fact, I said I stipulate that I'm not asking you to do that.
Yeah, this is stupid. Mark is repeating himself because Cenk is continually strawmanning the argument. Mark is not saying you need to go in and scream at them. You're white supremacist. You're white supremacist. He's just saying like, just be honest about what they are. But then also when you do go, like, you don't have to call them white supremacists, but like challenge them on political things. We're just like, we've looped on this same talking point like 20 times.
That I don't think you should do. So I keep saying it over and over again. This is not about calling the white supremacists. You also said I'm making an assumption. You're making a huge assumption by saying that you know that they're leaving there more open to left-wing positions. There's absolutely no evidence of that. So we're both speculating at that level. I agree that I don't know for sure. You don't know for sure. Unless you have some metric, there's no way to know that when that your appearance there had this impact that you're suggesting it does. Just like I can't prove that it didn't. So I'm saying I'll call that even. My point here, since you don't understand what I'm saying, is to use what you just said. To be clear, if someone walks into that room and they're sitting in the stands listening to you talk, and they already believe that just to use the mainstream media example, they believe that establishment media needs to go. But they also don't think Fox News is establishment media, right? They walk in thinking, get rid of CNN and MSNBC, keep Fox News, right? That's what they're thinking in the stands in this example, right? Because they don't think that's establishment media. Just like to your point, the person on the left is saying, get rid of Fox, keep MSNBC, fine, right? So that person doesn't realize Fox is that. When you sit on that stage and say, yeah, we can all agree to get rid of mainstream media, and Joe Sixpack in the stands claps and says, that's right. Even the lefty guy agrees with me.
So let me
just tie a bow on it. He now has even more reinforcement for his position that establishment media needs to go, but he's still never been told that the thing he thinks isn't establishment media, Fox News, isn't. So that's what I'm saying. But now he has more legitimacy to his wrong point because you didn't actually tell him that's wrong.
No, totally disagree. So Mark, I can go in the room and have that same exact conversation with Joy Reid, right? And then everybody in filled with left-wingers in that case, right? And people walk out thinking, oh yeah, we got to get rid of Fox News and maybe CNN.
You know they're not going to listen to a thing he has to say if he goes in there right now and starts arguing with them. Well, no, you do. This is, again, I feel like this is so weird because this is my blueprint, like for the entire Red Pill arc and even my conservative arc at the beginning of this year. You go on and you just pick some things to fight about. You don't have to fight over every single thing, but pick a few things to fight about and have a good time, right?
But definitely not MSNBC.
Did I crack the top 10 on this? And if they were good, shut up. Hell yeah. I wonder. Okay, fuck this. I will make #1 for podcasts they've done. Yeah, I do bring the views. Fuck you guys. Do they have a Patreon?
Difficulty navigate.
Oh, fuck. There's another thing I realized recently that I need to do more, which is making friends with people. Wait.
But that's not my responsibility to go convince them that no, you also have to hate MSNBC. Now, I will tell them that if they ask me. I will tell them that in the span of a larger and longer conversation. I will tell the left the same exact thing that I'm telling the right, and I would tell the right the same thing I'm telling the left. So just because we didn't clarify Fox News or OAN in that conversation doesn't mean we shouldn't have that conversation or that it somehow helped Charlie Kirk's nefarious.
The Patreon is right there. Oh, wait, fuck, hold on, wait. I just want to say something stupid.
Yeah.
Why are white supremacists so offended by the white supremacist label? It's like they do believe white people are... Well, because it sounds bad, I mean, on that. For premium podcast episodes. I feel like since they edit these interviews, like, super heavily. Like, I want to say that mine was like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And I see it's cut down to 47 minutes. I feel like if they uploaded the totally unedited cuts onto their Patreon, I feel like a lot of people would sign up for these, especially since the people that they interview, one, these are like funny interviews that are cut really short. And then two, because there's like pretty popular people that they're bringing on, like Cuomo and shit. And Destiny, obviously. Okay, boom, boom, boom. So I was curious, did you and Nick get along fine? He seems super weird to vibe with. How does he seem weird to vibe with? I think we all got along.
Beer. So this idea that I'm not going on left-wing shows.
Wait, wrong one. Sorry. Wait, wrong one.
His plans. So if his plans are to get rid of establishment media, that's my plans. I hate establishment media. So,
like, how can you not see that? Like, bro, what they want to put up afterwards is not what you want to see, my friend. Like, why are you deluding yourself into thinking this?
So if you say to me, "Oh my God," but then if you say, "Cenk," then what if they use it to get rid of everything but Fox News? But they didn't do that. That's a wild hypothetical. And if they did, I'd fight them tooth and nail. Right? So, like, if they do things that we don't agree with, we fight. And so that's not that complicated.
Maybe we're talking
super clear about that, right? But you're assuming what's in their head and what they assumed about what I
I'm
said,
not assuming what's in
how
their
that gave strength to Charlie Kirk, but none of those things actually happened. So, Like,
But we don't know what happened. Again,
and Mark,
no. That's
think about it.
We don't know what happened anymore in the sense of what I'm saying and what you're saying. You're almost, one would hear that and think that somehow I'm painting a hypothetical that's unprovable and yours has been demonstrably proven. What I'm saying is, you made an argument.
Yes, it is, Destiny. They want independent media. Conservatives have no desire for independent media. That's not true. If that was true, then they would have huge problems with Elon and Twitter and the closeness that he has with Trump. So that's not true.
In that room that didn't challenge Joe in the stands argument. I just painted a picture of Joe in the stands and his belief on mainstream media, and you didn't really respond to that. I'm saying Joe has no reason to believe that Fox News is establishment media based on what you said on that stage. Do you have a duty to tell him that? I think you do if your goal is to challenge establishment media, to not only challenge establishment media, but to challenge what he thinks is establishment media. If that's not your goal, then don't. That's fine. Then that doesn't advance our interests.
Do you get that? Since I've done that on other shows, but it wasn't part of that 25-minute conversation, that's not a fair standard to hold me to. I didn't debunk every thought that every right winger in the stands had within that 25 minutes. That's
like it's bro. I wouldn't be able to do it. I would just hang up. Like, imagine you go to a dude and he's like eating just like piles of shit out of a trash can. Like, bro, this is not healthy for you. It's like, okay, so I need to min-max every single fucking part of my diet to make you happy? No, bro, just don't eat like actual literal shit out of trash cans. Oh, okay, so what? I need to be a fucking PhD researcher to know the perfect balance of micros and macro? No, dude, just stop eating dog shit. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with me? Something's wrong with me? Because I don't have time to look at a million fucking health and diet YouTube videos to figure out exactly what no, bro, why the fuck do you keep saying this? Just don't eat shit. Eat like a normal, healthy diet. Oh, healthy? What? Like it's been redefined a million? No, why did he keep saying it over and over and over and over and over and over and over?
Do you get that since I've done that on other shows, but it wasn't part of that 25-minute conversation, that's not a fair standard to hold me to, I didn't debunk every thought that every right winger in the stands had within that 25 minutes, that's a wildly unfair standard?
So I get what you just said, but what you just attributed to me is not what I said. I keep making point A, and then you keep sort of caricaturing my point.
But the Fox News thing is like, how would I I didn't even assume that they would think that it's not Fox News.
But you should.
That's Fox News.
Oh, he's finally okay. Oh yeah. He's getting pissed off now. Okay, thank you, Jesus. Yeah.
Like, that they would think that it's not Fox News.
But you should.
That's Fox News. Like, because that wasn't what the conversation was about, Mark. So that's you went really deep into that rabbit hole to come up with like.
No, I used your example. I really read the transcript and went by the points you made. And again, I didn't say let's go in there and debunk every potential misconception people in the audience has. Again,
we've done this point like 20 times. Yes, we've done this so many times.
I make a point, and then you then attribute to me this absurd caricature, and then say I didn't do that, Mark. I didn't give everybody $5,000. I didn't ask you to. What I'm saying is, if you make a point,
so let me understand right. Do you think I should have specifically made that one point that you're making about Fox News? And then
no, again, you're minimizing what I'm saying. I'm not saying my issue is that you didn't.
So I needed to make that one specific point. That's bro. How can he not understand this? He must understand this. He must. What is happening here?
Address the single point that Mark Lamont Hill was saying at this moment. That of all the points that were to be made, I'm mad that you didn't make mine. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
why, this is what I'm talking about, like the performativity. Like Mark shouldn't have to say this, right? That's obviously what he's not saying, right? Like, why didn't you push back on Charlie Kirk? What am I supposed to be, a linebacker now? What, did you want me to tackle him? How hard was I supposed to push him? Like, no, bro, nobody's saying this. Hello?
You said three things, right? For example, hypothetically. And I'm saying, if you're going to talk about those three things and make the audience believe that we're aligned on these three things, left and right, but it turns out if we actually critically analyze it, we're not, then you have to point that out. Otherwise, the powerful will walk away thinking that they're even more powerful. I'll give you an example. Let's just hear what
I do that at almost every opportunity.
And that's what.
Do what? Make the powerful think they're more powerful, or push back on something?
And that's where we're going. So what I'm saying though is every opportunity isn't the same. For example, if this were 300 years ago, just hypothetical, 200 years ago, and then I'll leave it alone. And we were in a place where black people weren't considered human beings, right? And black people legally were not citizens, right? And you were an abolitionist, and you walked in the room, to a room of slaveholders, and said, every citizen should get a house. Every citizen should have the right to vote. Every person should be safe in this country. We should all agree on that. And y'all clap and walk out.
No! That was holy shit. Pre-watch. That was exactly my point yesterday, where I said, like, you understand, like, if you were to go into a room of, I think I literally said it was slave owners or pre-civil right. I think I was going to say slave owners, and then I decided in my brain, I was like, well, I'm not going to say slave owners because people are going to say, well, all men are created equal or whatever bullshit. which I think is actually just the Declaration of Independence, or is that the preamble of the Constitution? I don't remember. So then I just changed it to pre-civil rights era people. Like you understand that pre-civil rights, like people in the United States would say, yeah, of course we should all have the same constitutional rights, separate but equal. That's a doctrine that comes from the Supreme Court. That's like constitutional, right? Yes, they would also agree. They'd say, yeah, absolutely, fucking A, yeah. Okay, so Mark, he can use the more extreme example. Yeah, you can go to talk to slave owners. Shouldn't everybody in the USA and our new, in our new country, shouldn't we all have the same rights? They'd be like, absolutely, yeah. But it's like, hold on, well, what the fuck are you saying? What are you actually saying here? Like, this is why I always say give examples, grounded in examples and policy. Can you recite the preamble? Yes. 7 years ago, all men were created equal with inalienable rights from God for freedom of speech and the right to have Twitter accounts free from Elon's tampering.
The right to vote.
Under God, with liberty and justice for all.
Every person should be safe in this country. We should all agree on that. And y'all clap and walk out and hug out and leave, right? You could say, look at this. I just brought together the abolitionists and the slaveholders. The problem is
you didn't give an example. Oh fuck, this is such a good point. Yes, it's these high-level concepts, these abstract concepts. We all need to be safe in the United States, right? All of us are entitled to safety. Exactly. And then everybody claps. And then like half the people walk away saying, this is why we're going to have equal rights. And the other half are like, this is why the slaves need to be kept in their own houses. If you don't ground these out in examples, nobody really knows what the fuck you're saying.
They're agreeing that all people should be safe and all citizens should vote, but they don't believe that black people are citizens or humans.
Yes.
So they think they're agreeing with you because they don't accept that stipulation. Right?
Oh God! And Jenkins is about to say the most condescending, patronizing bullshit in the world. I can feel it. It's that look. He always has that look when he's like, "Oh, my friend, I'm not eating dog shit. This is cat shit. You're mistaken."
But I'm saying, just let me finish the thought.
Destiny, this is where you made that point. Wait, what?
Yeah, I would argue.
Like you have. Oh, maybe he's going to bring this up, right? Like this is so reductionist. Imagine, you ask me, okay, let's be honest. What do you think about P. Diddy? And somebody's like, fucking disgusting. I hate P. Diddy. Like, get this guy the fuck out of here. Okay, we can break right over that topic, right? That's good. And like, what about Cosby? Yeah, fuck Bill Cosby. I hate that motherfucker. He's the worst person. I gave this example. Like, maybe even worse than P. Diddy. I was like, okay, cool. Okay, what are we going to do? Historically, when we think of like big things like civil rights, like Malcolm X and MLK, we're like, fuck those guys. Wait a second, we mean fuck those guys. Yeah, fuck those guys. Wait, why? Because they're black. Wait, why'd you hate Diddy and Cosby? We think of like Weinstein. Oh no, that guy was fine. Those women knew what they were getting into. I don't like Cosby and Diddy. They're black rapists and they're just black people. And it's like, wait, okay, wait, hold on. So we're not really agreeing at all, right? You understand? Like the thought process is important. So to say, well, these people are booing. I agree with Destiny from yesterday. He's a real one.
And so what I'm saying is, when you have that exchange with them, you have a duty to confront them on that misconception. And you can't say, well, I've said it in Bible study. I've said it on the streets. I've said it in the underground world. No, when we're having that conversation, we have to say that thing. And then if I confront you on that, you can't say, well, Mark, I can't confront all the philosophical and epistemological. No, I'm asking.
Did you say I said it in the Underground Railroad? Okay, this is one thing I've never understood, okay? Supposedly, right, there was this whole Underground Railroad for getting slaves, like, to freedom. How have we never seen like any videos of any tunnels or like how do they actually get like whole ass fucking trains? Like wouldn't these be subways? Shouldn't it have been called the underground? Shouldn't it have just been called the underground subway? Like what exactly was going on there?
To say that thing. And then if I confront you on that, you can't say, well, Mark, I can't confront all the philosophical and epistemological. No, I'm asking you that. I'm saying on this issue that you brought up, you have a duty to show them how they're wrong because that's what's high stakes. That's what decides who lives or dies. That's what makes the political conversion. Otherwise, and this is the last piece of it, 5 seconds. Otherwise, the slave.
I feel like you really like Mark after your discussion with him, and then you soured on him for some reason, and Mark's going to be doing a really good job here. What about him do you not like? Or is Israel-Palestine takes too crazy for you? I don't remember. I feel like he talked to somebody afterwards, and I felt like his summary of our conversation was not as great. But as far as people that I disagree with on Israel-Palestine, I feel like he was probably one of the better ones, I think. Well, no, he was one of the better ones. I'm just not sure if I pushed more, if it would turn into a dog shit conversation. Like Nick Fuentes was a really good first conversation, but when I came back and I had him to talk to him the second time, I realized like, oh, this is a dog shit slogan here. Person who doesn't actually know anything about what he's talking about. This is like 7 years ago. But regardless of our disagreements on Israel-Palestine, I do think Mark is one of the good ones. And by one of the good ones, I mean one of the left-leaning people that are like to the left of me that we can disagree with things on. And he's not like super unhinged or crazy.
Slaveholder walks away saying, look, me and the abolitionists agree. Let's go back to business as usual. They actually feel strengthened in their position. Now, please don't say, Mark, why are you comparing this to slavery? Please don't get on.
No.
Actually hear the heart and the substance of my argument and be intellectually honest and address. Don't walk around it. Address the specific example I gave you, and please answer it.
Yeah, no, I get the analogy completely. I totally get it. So look, there's two parts to this. Number one, you just built a straw man. You said, oh, I did it in Bible study. I did it at the grocery store. No, I did it in right-wing spaces. I did it on some of the largest right-wing.
Yeah, that would be that's not a straw man. To be clear, in 1800s, Bible study was a right-wing space. Only the right was allowed in the grocery store because black people were property. It was a perfect analogy. It's not a straw man. It's a perfect analogy.
You acknowledge I've done it in right-wing spaces, just not in that.
Examples. This is where Mark is like, okay, give me a couple examples. This is why I'm saying, like, if you want to have, there's like an evolution that's happened with the consumption of political content where people are starting to favor more long form content, which I think is good. But if we're going to do long form content, we should take advantage of the long form content space. And one of the advantages you can have is, well, we're both on a computer right now and we're going to be here for 2 hours. Let's like watch a video clip. We have time. We can do it. We can watch a minute video clip. It's not going to cut into like a 30-minute radio segment, like 10, 12-minute radio segment. It's not going to cut into anything. It's not like we have to do this for a Twitter short or whatever, or an Instagram short or a reel or some bullshit, right? Let's watch the thing. You have the capability of doing that. Bring it up. Ask for an example. What did you push back on? Like on what do you feel, what viewpoint do you feel you're representing accurately and honestly?
Just not the one that has us on the news right now. This is the big one.
But
This
I
is
don't
the
know
one
if
to
it's
do
going
it.
to make the news. Like half the time I think it's going to make news and it doesn't. I don't think half the time I don't think it's going to make any
Okay,
news.
let's not get distracted. Mike.
Right.
Please, I'll allow you to continue. I don't want to cut you off. Please continue.
Okay, so then the second part of it is, Mark, the problem with your analogy is that in the slaveholder part of it, the fact that they hold slaves is so central to that conversation.
Isn't there some sort of psychological thing about telling someone, give me an example, or tell me one time that happened in an argument, how it's inherently manipulative? I think it can be manipulative, but it's not. I think that I got mind fucked, unfortunately. Remember I said like the left-leaning media is always like obsessed with trying to be fair and balanced and not seem biased? I think I let myself get mind fucked by other people calling me a wiki warrior debate lord, where I'm like afraid to ask for examples in a debate. And I do, but I'll hedge it a ton.